Hey guys, it's Damien again. I've got another video real quick on some tips and tricks on how to grow your online business. Just to let you know, if you don't know anything about me, I own and operate a candy company. My wife and I started very, very small. We are pretty much 99% online. We sell through numerous platforms from Amazon to Etsy, and you name it, we're pretty much on everyone. So we started from nothing and utilized social media, grew our business, became very successful at doing it, and we have a lot of great opportunities coming up in the next few years with our business. So I've started a series of videos just to show you some tips on what I've learned and what I've had to learn as an entrepreneur from start to where I am today. I've been doing this for about 6 or 7 years now, and have had a lot of great success. So I hope my video helps you out. I'll make my videos very short and sweet and to the point. I don't ramble on about a whole bunch of garbage that you cannot use. Really simple. I had a handful of handful of people that saw my videos that were inquiring about multiple listings. When you create a product, if you've got, let's say, as an example, in our candy business, we've got a lot of different flavors of candy. When I go onto any platform, it doesn't make a difference what platform you're on. You can use this tip for any of them. I highly recommend that you create multiple listings of a single product line if you've got it in different colors, flavors, sizes, whatever it may be. If there's a variation, I am a big proponent for those to create multiple listings. Here's why. Many customers that go on, I'm going to use Etsy, and I use Etsy a lot because it's one of our best-selling platforms. Many of the customers that go on to Etsy, when they first come onto a store, if they see a store that's got like 100 items, 50 items, 200 or 300 or even 1,000 items, and it's professionally laid out, it looks really good, you got great photography, your descriptions are great, it comes across to the customer as a little more professional, as it would compared to a store that maybe has about a dozen items. Now I'm not putting down, if you've only got 10 or 12 items, I'm not trying to belittle your store. I'm not saying anything bad about it. But if you have the ability, if you're creating things by hand and you've got a multitude of sizes, a multitude of flavors or colors or variations, you need to take every listing. If you've got a candy that's strawberry flavored, make a listing for it, describe it in detail, how is it packaged, great photography, great picture, etc., etc. And you've got blueberry, watermelon, butter pecan, and I could just go on and on. But you've got a multitude of flavors of a certain candy. This is just an example. Create a listing for every single one of them. Because when a customer comes across your store, let's say they typed in strawberry candy. They came across your store and you've got like 100 items on there. And you've got variations, you've got them packaged nice, you've got different colors of photos. And you've got a lot of great descriptive information with a lot of different colors, or if you got different flavors. It comes across to the customer as a more professional looking store. There's a lot of variety. This guy is very creative. This lady is very creative. You've got a lot of different things for the customer to choose from. It's almost like if you took a super Walmart and you had the ability to create a large store on an Etsy. You have a big super Walmart store, a retail store. You have this enormous 100,000 square foot, whatever it is, warehouse, this big store, and you put 13 little items in the middle of the store. And customers come in the front door and they see 13 things to choose from. You're probably not going to be in business very long. Now, take the same thought, the same mentality, and take it to the level of an Etsy. You can put as many products as you want. Amazon, as many products as you want. eBay, it's limitless, pretty much. And you have 1,000 items. Now you've got like 10 categories of different things people can choose from. You got 300 here, 200 there, you got 100 there, 70 here. So each category is filled with products, and now you're giving your customers a great variety of things to choose from. There's a very good likelihood, I'm only speaking from experience, there's a very good likelihood you're going to get repeat customers to your store if you've got a multitude of things to choose from. So don't limit yourself by creating a listing for a dress, let's say, and you can create that dress in numerous different sizes, different colors, different textures, different materials. Make a listing for every single one of them. That is the best way, I recommend. That's the best way to fill your store with a lot of variety and to give customers a lot to choose from. And trust me, believe me, it's going to work. If you have 12 items and you can replicate them and create them into 200, you need to have 200 listings. So think about it. Take some ideas, think outside the box, sit down and write out some different ideas. If you haven't created the products yet, but you create something that can be made into different types, different styles. If you make jewelry and it's a ring, and you can create 300 different rings, why limit yourself to putting up a dozen rings? Put up the 300 rings and see where that takes you. And of course, that's an example. But whatever that niche, whatever that thing is that you make, if you can create different types, you're going to be better off and you're going to sell a lot more. So that's my quick tip. If you have any questions, do let me know. Subscribe to my channel. I've got hundreds of videos, all kinds of great tips to think outside the box when you're online marketing. If you're selling through platforms or if you're creating a website, I've got a lot of real-world experience. I can exactly tell you how to do it and grow it. Thanks, guys. Hey, guys. Damien here. I've got a really quick video. I wanted to share with you a little experience that I had with Blogger.com. Blogger, which is a Google blog platform. Sorry about that. Too close for comfort there. So, yes, I went ahead and created a blog really quick. I did one to promote our company, to talk about candies, talk about what we do. But then I start to think, I try to think outside the box when it comes to online marketing. I utilize some different ideas and different strategies, and I kind of do these little experiments with them to see if they really benefit my company or not. Give myself like a 2 week to about a month, 2 to 4 week period. If I don't see any changes, any positive motion or movement forward with sales, I just kind of kick it to the curb and I try something different. But this actually works. If you sell online, if you sell through either Etsy, Amazon, any of these existing platforms, or if you own just your own website, which we do as well, a great way to promote your product and your brand is this way. And that little tip is creating multiple blogs. I talk a lot of videos about social media and different ways to bring attention to my product. But utilizing a blog, went to Blogger, created an initial blog, as I mentioned, for my company. But then I started to think, what else could I talk about to bring other customers, to bring people just to see my brand, to see my product, and to possibly tie them all together in some way, shape, or form, or drop a little link on there if it's going to my website where I sell our candy, our handmade goodies and stuff and snacks. How can I do that? So I did this little experiment. What I did is I created a blog that talked more or less about like foodie type of stuff, food reviews, just general food in general, gourmet foods, and different types of products like that can be found online. That wasn't specific about the niche that I have, which is candy. So I created the blog, started to put it out there, started to type a lot about different types of restaurants in the local area. But then I started to expand and talk about different recipes for different types of, for vegan food, for this food, for that food. So what I wanted to do was just to see if I could attract additional views to that blog. And within that blog, started to throw some links to our website for candies and links to different things. So a couple weeks went by. I went ahead and created a separate blog. Started to get some traffic on it. So then what I did is I specifically added links to certain products. Products that I would keep track of, products that I would be aware of, products that I deliberately put onto the blog so I can see if there was an increase in sales or even views throughout our different selling platforms. Well, it worked. So what we did is I began to expand more on our blog, write more about food in general, different types of taste of food, et cetera, et cetera. And I began to add additional links to not only products within our selling platforms like Amazon and Etsy and stuff, but then back to our website and then back to the other blogs. So I started to kind of create this spider web in a sense with all these different social medias as well as the blogs that I was creating. And it worked very well. So the tip of the day, if you are into selling a certain product, if it's not food, that's fine. If you happen to be selling something that's like either cosmetics, if you're doing jewelry, if you're doing fashion, try to think outside the box. Create multiple blogs, create multiple Pinterest boards, go into Facebook and kind of get into some communities there. I'm a big advocate of Google+. We had, as I mentioned before in another video that I had, we created a Google Plus page for our candy company. In a matter of 4 months, we're up to almost 50,000 views just with Google Plus. Now, I see that as 50,000 potential customers who will bring me more sales. And it works. It does. So just some really creative ways to use social media instead of just creating one like Facebook page, creating one Google Plus page. Try to think of other ways that you can use the same platform to draw customers in And then little by little, you start throwing some additional links, put in some information about your other businesses or whatever it may be. Try to think outside the box. I hope you liked the video. Subscribe to our channel. I've got dozens of other videos to show you how to grow a business from nothing to something. Hey guys, it's Damien. I'm back. I wanted to do a real quick video tonight. I wanted to talk really briefly about how to utilize several platforms to sell your products and your services on, and never to rely solely on one outlet for your selling of your products or services. When we started off, we started with an eBay store of several years back, and we started to sell our candies and our goods, our baked goods and cookies and such. And that was our first and only online presence that we had. It worked out well. It did great, but it seemed like the only place that we were generating revenue from and money was going to be from our eBay store. So I started to think a little bit outside the box, and this was when we were new to selling online, and realized that you really have to be, I would recommend you to be in a lot of different places at the same time. That's where the Etsy store came into play, and then Amazon and Bonanza, and then our own website. We created our own website as well. So we're on several platforms selling in different areas at the same time, which is a great exposure for your brand and great way to generate more sales, of course, to make more money. But just keep in mind that if you're able to, just like I'm a big believer in social media as far as getting exposure for your product and service, if you can sell in a lot of different other places and then incorporate those places into your social media, most all of these platforms have social media icons, little buttons that you can press instantaneously when you make a listing, and put that product directly onto a social media the same time that you make the listing. It's kind of a habit. It's something that we do now. Excuse me. When we create a new product, or if we have another type of candy or another flavor or another gift basket or a subscription, we try to immediately post that onto social media. So that gives an instant opportunity for people who follow us on those social media platforms to see new products that we have coming up. Especially now with the holidays coming very soon, it makes a lot of sense to put more time and effort into creating listings and then instantly putting them onto social media. But being aware that you're on several different platforms at once, you can get exposure to hundreds of millions. Of course, Amazon is the biggest of the biggest out there as far as product. We've been on Amazon for about 1 year, a little bit over a year, and the amount of stuff that we've sold there has probably 5 times as fast in regards to the quantity of product that we've sold than any other shop, any other store that we've got. eBay was a great launching pad for us. It was the first time that we were actually online, that we were able to sell products to pretty much the world, and we shipped to a few countries. When we transitioned and went over to Etsy and then created our Etsy shop, within less than a year, we shipped to about 15 different countries. And our products to date have actually, since we started several years ago on Etsy, our products have been viewed in over 100 countries. So I would highly recommend that you definitely get on Etsy, but then keep in the back of your mind, I'll keep this video really short and sweet, but keep in the back of your mind that you should hop on to get your stores open up on Amazon. If you try eBay out. It's a great platform. We no longer sell our products, our candies and stuff on there, just because we got so big at the point where we just began to get more business through Amazon. So Bonanza.com is actually another site that a lot of people don't know too much about. It is growing, but we personally, our own experience on there, it was kind of a slow growth for us to sell on Bonanza. I like it, but I don't necessarily love that site. But definitely check that one out. And like I said, keep in the back of your mind, just trying to stay open to a lot of different platforms. If you have a product that you make, or if you have a product that you resell, these videos are really more or less for people who make products. If you're making something by hand, or if you have a line of products that you want to make by hand, definitely be on multiple sites at the same time. It's the best way to get a return and get additional sales and an enormous amount of exposure. So I hope that helps you. If you can, subscribe to our channel. If you got any questions, let me know. I'm going to do several videos tonight on marketing, online marketing, and what we do to get our brand, our product out there. Hey guys, doing another real quick video. This one's going to be about Google Plus, a social media platform that has actually grown our business in an extremely short period of time. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about how I did it and how I came across it, and how you can actually utilize that too to grow your business online specifically. What I did is I started a Google Plus page for our company. I put information in there about what we do. If you haven't seen my videos, I own and operate a candy company. We ship worldwide. We utilize the internet. Pretty much 99.9% of my business is really online. People order products from us. We sell on various platforms, everything from Amazon to Etsy, eBay, our own company site, and so on. So what I wanted to do was try to drive more traffic to our business, is generate some additional social media outlets and figure out the best way that we can utilize that to grow our business and to take it to another level than where we were. So about 3 or 4 months ago, I knew of Google Plus, but about 3 or 4 months ago, I actually created a page for our company. But what I've done so far is I go in and I kind of research, and I'm finding out different ways to actually leverage it and use it to get exposure for our company. And literally, I kid you not, within a short period of time, right now my page that I created for our company, we're at like I'm almost 42,000, I think 43,000 views. I see those views as all customers that I had not had 3 or 4 months ago, but I do now. And of course, not every single one of those views generated a sale, but every single one of those views generated exposure. And when you're a small business, when you can get, in essence, free exposure, because it only really costs me the time to put it in, it costs me no money out of my pocket, it helps tremendously. So here's what I started to do the past couple of weeks. We go into these, Google Plus has these communities, and they're basically groups of people who have the same interests, whether it is scuba diving, photography, baking, food bloggers, whatever it is. Literally thousands of these communities, they're called. So I went ahead and joined a couple of them and then began to promote my product. Now, what I ended up doing is I started to look at what we actually make, what we create and what we make from our business. And we have about 500 different items, believe it or not, that we make. That's anywhere from like cake balls to candy to hard candies, brittles, just a lot of different stuff. So I went ahead into Google Plus, and I began to actually create other pages, other communities that for myself that had those specific products as a topic, as an interest. So what I mean by that is I would create a page for cake balls, and then I would promote all of the stuff that I had for my business. I would copy and paste those URLs, those links to Etsy, to Amazon, to our website, and I would create a category. I would create a community, and it would literally be just about cake balls. So there's a lot of people who go on Google Plus who are interested in baking or who like cake balls, et cetera, et cetera. So they would drive traffic. They would go to it, and they would end up joining, they would end up joining the community that I had just created. And I'm kind of getting almost, in essence, you're getting free exposure to people who are interested in what you do and who will potentially be customers. So then I looked at the chocolate stuff that we do, chocolate-covered pretzels. So then I found there's communities, believe it or not, that people are interested in chocolate-covered pretzels. People are interested in Oreo cookies. We have a line of chocolate-covered Oreo cookies that we flavor, that we have them in different colors, that we have for different events. So that's just snowballed all these ideas to create communities to draw people who have the same interest in the products that I make, and then potentially are turning around and becoming customers of mine. So let's just take that to a different direction. Let's say that you are into making foods, you do small batch food products. You have a line of marinades, let's say barbecue marinades, that would be fantastic, would go over well, would be very successful. How do you get people to find your marinades? There's 1 million people making marinades. There's all kinds of brands. There's mass-produced stuff. There's small batch. There's beer-infused, et cetera, et cetera. So how do you get exposure for that? Well, not only can you do the Facebook thing, the Pinterest thing, all of those are great, fantastic social media. But you can go to Google+, again, create a community, create a page for yourself first. Make sure it has all the business information about your business. Then create a page, community, and you've got you got a full line of barbecue sauces, but you got one particular flavor. Let's say it's a spicy jalapeno. So you could create a community based around spicy foods or just spices. And then from that, you're going to attract people who go on to Google+. They're going to see that and say, wow, there's a community dedicated to spices, hot things, habaneros, et cetera, et cetera. So they will literally be attracted to that community once you have posted some products, some information about yourself, your company. Put that on there and keep posting every day. Just put a few posts, a few URLs, a few links of the product to your website where they can buy it. And little by little, you're going to get traffic, and that traffic's going to compound and compound. As of today, like I had mentioned, we are sitting at almost 42,000 views in a matter of like 4 months. So 10,000 views a month, 10,000 customers that I'm potentially getting just from a social media platform with just one page that I had open initially. It's tremendous. It's great. And it's, like I said, it costs you nothing to do it. And you don't have to be a computer genius. It literally will walk you through it. You answer a few questions. You put your information up, put your website link, and you're done. You're good to go. And but definitely, Google Plus has brought us a lot of traffic that we had not had before. And now I'm kind of tying the two together because I've brought in. We have a huge presence on Pinterest. We've got about 1,200 pins, and we've got hundreds of followers. So I'm little by little pulling things from Pinterest and posting it over to our Google+. And so far it's worked in generating additional traffic to Pinterest. And when you can tie in things from Pinterest to Facebook, and you've got this literally like a cobweb, you got this huge web of social media outlets that you've got yourself on, it just creates this almost in a sense what would be known as an organic creation, because then it starts to take on this life of itself. And you don't have to every day, you don't have to be on there posting stuff, because people will start pinning things of their own, and you've got this huge tidal wave of almost like cross marketing between different social media pages. So definitely look into that. I'll keep the videos short and sweet. If you've got any questions for me, please let me know. Put it down there, and like our videos. If you have any dislikes, let us know. And if you can, subscribe to our channel. We appreciate it. We'll have videos every single week and talk a little bit more about how we created our company and grew it online. And I hope it helps. All right, guys. This is my third. I'm doing like a marathon of videos tonight. Sorry for moving around so much. My chair is uncomfortable. Sitting the way I'm sitting. Really quick. 3 videos I did tonight. I've got this last one here. This was something that I would recommend you do. I kind of just recently found out about this, and it's a great way to create a gift guide before the holidays. And I'm going to go over this really fast. I'm not going to make this video very long. If you're not familiar with a gift guide, the way you can create one, we have a blog. I'm just going to give you how we do it. And this is an example of what we do. We got a blog. What we do is that we create a gift guide. And near the holiday season, I'll pick out 5 items, either in my Etsy shop, my Amazon store, or my website, or even all of them. Put together a blog post that has pictures, a description, price, and a link. Picture, description, price, and a link. Do that for 5 products that you want to sell the most of in your shop. And do a header on the top of your blog post, or if you're on a social media site, do it. And add 5 items and create kind of a generic. If you've never done it before, that's fine, but you're kind of creating a gift guide with 5 items that you want to move. If you've got 5 different things that your customers or potential customers will have an opportunity to buy and send as a gift. Try this. This is going to be the first holiday season that I've done this, but I'm familiar with, when I worked in retail for as long as I did, we had gift guides that were mailed out to people because they were big box stores and they can afford that. This is a great way to do this. Social media, go to Google+, go to Facebook, Pinterest, Tumblr, Twitter. You can't really do it on Twitter because it's not set up that way. But you can post a link. If you have a blog, create a blog post on your page and then take that URL and put it onto your social media. 5, what it'll do is it's going to give your customers or people who see it 5 different things they can look at. That would be great gift guides for them for the holidays. And each one, like I said, put a link back to your site. If you're on Etsy, copy and paste a link to the product with a description and photo and see what that does for your business over the holiday season this year. Very quick, very fast. I'm not going to take much of your time. If you have any questions on how to create one, ask me. Be sure to like my videos if you like them. If you don't, hey, give me a thumbs down. Also subscribe because I've got videos coming out all the time. I will show you and teach you how to create a profitable site on Etsy, on Amazon, on eBay, Bonanza, and your own site because I've done it. And I'll show you how to. Hey guys, I'm back again. I've shot another really quick video. If you have a store on Etsy.com and you are either new to Etsy or you've been selling and you're just looking for ways to generate additional revenue, I've got three things that will help you boost your sales. And again, everything that I talk about are things that I do in my shop, and I do it every day. I've experienced it. I'm not reading some book and kind of regurgitating this stuff and making videos to get your attention for 5 or 6 minutes. No. No, I actually have done this. These things work. They've worked for my shop. I get about 10,000 views a month. We're roughly going about 300 to 400 views a day on average. So what I'm telling you about the methods that I use, the tips that I have, they work. If you implement them and you put them into your shop, they will work. You give them time, I promise you, they will work. Everybody's results, of course, will vary because it depends on how passionate you are about it. If you are implementing these things and you're going full force straight ahead and you're putting a lot of time and effort, you're going to reap the benefits, period. Number one, make a listing for expedited shipping. If you have a product and there are some customers, especially now that we're approaching the holiday season, if you are creating a product and you need to offer your customers expedited shipping, the best way to do that is actually to create an expedited shipping listing. That listing is actually going to be for services that you can get there in one day, overnight, that type of thing. But create an expedited shipping listing, and your customers can add that to the products when they purchase it and when they check out. So that'll give them that'll give your shop additional revenue. Some people, I don't do this. I don't do this as far as adding to the shipping. Some people do add additional shipping and handling charges. That you can do if you want. That's up to you. I simply charge what it costs me to ship the product from my shop to the customer. But again, the listing is what I'm talking about, creating the listing for that. The other one is gift wrapping. Towards the holiday season, if you've got a product and you want to offer a special gift wrap and you want it to have it, a lot of the larger stores do this online. Some of them do it for free, but most of us, our names aren't Walmart. So unless you're that big and you can obviously offer free shipping with no expense, fantastic. But for small business owners like me and you and everyone else that sells online, you can offer gift wrapping and charge a little extra for that. Make a listing for it. So what it'll do is when the customer checks out on your shop, they can add that to their cart, check out, and then when you'll see the order, you'll see that they want it gift wrapped, and you can wrap it up in some type of fancy, box or wrapping paper with a bow. Lastly, gift certificates, gift cards. Now, the best way to do this is I have some gift certificates on my store. If customers want to purchase them, they'll actually I will send the gift certificate itself, the actual paper gift certificate, to whomever they wish to have it shipped to. It's a great revenue generator. It gets cash flow going because right up front you're getting a cash flow for a gift certificate for a product, and then you're going to later fill that. But at least up front you're going to get that initial few dollars, whatever it may be, 5, 10, 15, whatever increments that you want to choose. The other great thing is if you're looking for somebody to print your gift certificates for you, you can get that done at like Office Max, Office Depot. Online, you can get it at Vistaprint. I don't get paid to promote these people. I'm just telling you that they're just great resources. Vistaprint has a great selection of gift certificates. Get them made up. Make them look professional. Get a nice envelope. Sometimes they come like embossed. You can get them embossed with gold printing and all that silly stuff. But it makes a difference. It does. It looks nice, and it can be given as a gift. And it's a great way to also, the other thing you got to think about is that a customer who comes to your shop and gets a gift certificate, they already know that you're there. So you already have a customer. They're going to send a gift certificate to a family member or friend or some other person. So you've picked up two. You have two customers right off the bat. You got to think it that way. All these extra little things that you do, when a customer can take a product and buy it from you and have it shipped to somebody else, you're already gaining additional customers. So the one that bought it from you to begin with is obviously liking your shop enough to buy the gift certificate. Then they're giving it to somebody else. Keep that in mind. So definitely promote your gift certificates. Again, when you make these listings on Etsy, immediately once you've posted it and you've created the listing, you have social media buttons right on the right-hand side of your listing. There is Tumblr, Facebook, excuse me, Tumblr, Facebook, Pinterest, and I think that Twitter's on there too. And immediately hit those buttons, get them posted, put them onto your account so they're out there in social media land. Do that to every listing, by the way. Don't add something. I would highly recommend you do this. Don't add something to your shop if you don't plan on promoting it right then and there. Just take a couple seconds. Once it's listed, click on the listing so the listing pulls up. You don't do this from the listing manager when you create the listing. You actually have to go to your shop and then pull up the listing like your customer would see it. Click on it and then add it to your social media buttons. There you go. You've got all those social media sites with your product out there. Do it to every single listing that you're doing. So those 3 things, try it, experiment with it, play with them, add those listings to there. It'll generate extra revenue for your shop. Hey guys, it's Damien. I'm back. I've got another video I'm going to do tonight really quick. It's in regards to selling on Etsy. I do a lot of videos on Etsy. It's just one of our best-selling shops. We recently opened an Amazon store. We've been on Amazon for about a year now. But our Etsy shop has been fantastic. We've been able to grow that over the past few years. We average about 10,000 views a month. We're doing about 300 to 400 views on our products a day. We've been very fortunate, and we've been able to grow our business on Etsy, selling our products to, I think we're up to about 15 countries so far, 16 countries. So the tips that I offer in my videos, this is kind of experience that I've had myself in the business of being an online retailer. We have several platforms that we sell on. Etsy is just one of them. But I talk a lot about Etsy because I know quite a bit about how to utilize Etsy, especially incorporating social media to drive sales. We utilize bloggers to get exposure. There's a lot of wonderful methods that we use every single day to gain more exposure for our product line, which is candy. We actually sell candy. We've got about 500, 600 products, something like that in our Etsy store. Everything that we sell, we hand make and we make it fresh to order. So really quick, I'll give you a rundown. Here are 5 reasons why, if you're thinking about opening a website and selling your products through your own website, through your own company's name, that's great. Before you do that, though, if you don't have a lot of experience selling online, if you don't have a lot of experience selling or marketing your product, not only selling it, but the most important part is marketing your products online. Before you invest the time, money, and effort, energies, and all that into opening a website of your own, definitely go the route of selling on another platform first. I highly recommend this. I did that before I started. Actually, I started on eBay, believe it or not. We started selling our candy on eBay about several years ago. And then it had grown so fast and so rapidly that we went ahead and opened up our own website, and then also went over to Etsy, and then just recently started selling on Amazon. And Amazon has been just astounding. That's a whole nother video. So let me stay focused here and let me get back to Etsy. The reason why I would recommend selling on a platform like an Etsy first, before you start some type of website of your own, for the top 5 reasons that I'm about to go over with you really quick. And I kind of narrowed it down to what I think is the most important reason for you to start on a platform that is already existing, that has basically the platform has been established. The features within the store selling has been established. So number 5, when you go onto a let's say Etsy, I'm gonna use that as the example. When you start selling on Etsy, you can really begin to get exposure to literally the entire world. If you are interested in selling internationally and you've got a product that handles great being shipped internationally, there are not every product that people make by hand or by scratch are really lends itself to being a good international shipping product. I hope that makes sense. There's a lot of products people make with their hands that are great for the U.S. They're great for local markets. They're great for maybe shipping to Canada. But when you get to selling to like Japan or Asia, you're going into Europe, Eastern Europe and such. You're going to Italy. You're going to South America. Some stuff I wouldn't recommend. Things that I make myself, we've shipped to Singapore. I've shipped to all parts of Asia. Japan, I've shipped chocolate-covered pretzels to Singapore, for crying out And there's a lot of stuff that is good for shipping, but then there's some stuff that's not. So number five, the great reason why you want to utilize an existing platform like Etsy is that you can get instantaneous exposure worldwide. When you create a listing on Etsy, there is a section under the shipping information that you can designate whether you want to ship to what they call everywhere else. So what that means is that you have a shipping pricing that you put on there for shipping within the U.S. And then below that, there's a section that shows everywhere else. Be very, very careful, though, that when you designate everywhere else that you want to ship to the world, understand your shipping rates. It's very, very important. Again, it's not a very glamorous part of the online e-commerce. It's not a lot of fun. It's not nothing, very exciting, but it's extremely important to understand the shipping rates that you're going to be utilizing. Which type of shipping method? Is it going to be a USPS, UPS, FedEx? Because there are very, very huge gaps between the pricing when you're shipping USPS first class or you're going to go FedEx with the same product internationally. There are some enormous price differences. And if you don't factor them in correctly, no matter what your profit margin you're making on the product, it's going to get eaten up by that shipping error if you make an incorrect amount or you designate, let's just say, for instance, $10 to ship it from here to South America, when in fact it's like $20. So there's an extra $10 window there that you're going to lose out on your margins for your product. So try to research that and check it out first before you do it. I highly recommend that. But the reason why I say this is, again, number 5, my top 5 reasons. Number 5 is worldwide exposure. You can get yourself, your product viewed in front of a lot of people very quick. Compared to opening a website, then you've got a lot of SEO issues. You've got Google search engine issues and trying to be found when you're just starting out, when you don't have a lot of that momentum. It's going to be very difficult. So get on Etsy, start that first. You'll get worldwide exposure. Number 4, it's a great experience to deal with customers and their issues. When they order something, if they've got a problem, if they got a return, a refund, if you've never experienced selling online before, Etsy is a great place. Again, Amazon's a great place and eBay, but I'm specifically talking about Etsy tonight. Etsy is a great place to get that experience interacting with those transactions with the customers. It is a different type. I'm going to tell you right now, because I worked in retail for a very long time. When you're working in a brick and mortar retail setting, when you've got a customer face to face with you and you've got an issue to deal with and you've got returns, et cetera, what's going to happen when you're online is you're not going to have that face interaction. And there's a lot of, it's an issue of the quality of the communication that you're going to have back and forth, whether it be email. On Etsy, it's called convos, like conversations. But when you have convos with customers and they've got something was damaged, they want to return something, they want a refund, you have to have a little bit of experience dealing with that. And before you open your own website and have to deal with that on a larger scale, even potentially, getting your feet wet with like Etsy or getting with like an eBay or a Bonanza, it's a great experience. It's really good. I would definitely recommend that. That's another great reason why starting with these seller platforms, you can kind of understand how that works in the world of returns, damages, and so it's going to happen. When I first started, I know I had probably about close to 100 transactions and everything was good. And then all of a sudden I had a transaction where something was broke, damaged, and then you get negative feedback, and that's a whole nother video. But it's a great experience. Number 4, great experience. Dealing with customers online is not the same as dealing with them in a retail store. Number 3, the features for when you deal with something like an Etsy, when you open up a shop on Etsy, what you've got is a web platform that's already established with a lot of wonderful features. When it comes to listing products, pricing, you basically kind of just plug in your information on a listing. When you create a brand new listing, you just plug in your information, you get your shipping down, you put your description of information, you put some tags in there to get it found, put your photos, et cetera, But all of that is already built in when you're creating your own website. And I can speak from experience when I say this is because I've done it 4 times. I've done it three times too many. I've done it 4 times. The 4th one I did it with Weebly, Weebly.com, and I created the entire website myself And I don't say that to brag. It's just that it's just that simple, that easy. Create your own website. You plug everything in, but you're kind of creating it again from scratch. When you're working with a platform that's already existing, all of that information and features, bam, they're built in. They're done. You plug it in. It's going to walk you through very simple. I have a video, by the way, not to plug my videos, but I do have another video I just put out recently that shows you the walkthrough of everything, every single thing you need to add a listing to Etsy, and that's on my my channel. And if you subscribe to that, you can see that as well. So the existing website platform that's already on there for Etsy and Amazon is great if you're starting out because, again, all the features you need are built in. So that was my number 3. Number 2 is this is a financial one. From the standpoint of the amount of time, money, effort, and energy that you're going to put into building a website to start a business, all of that added up, it's going to be a heck of a lot easier. It's going to be a heck of a lot cheaper. For you to start out on a platform that's existing as well. So on Etsy, your fees are going to be 20 cents to list a product for 4 months. 4 months. Your product sits up there. Unless it is sold and you have it on a auto renewal, you'll have to manually resubmit the product to have it sit back up after it sells. I'll get into that more detailed in another video. I just specifically want to tell you that the fees for starting up a website this way and selling online through an Etsy is much, much, much cheaper. You get also the great thing about like an Etsy or an Amazon or an eBay is that they've already have an established presence online. So products within their selling platform get promoted, and they kind of do that at their own expense. But they do it for the reason that if they see that there's a product that you post and you list, they'll help you promote it to a point. They'll help you promote it, and it just means more sales for them as well as for you. So it's a great way, again, just if you're new at this, if you've never done it before, these larger platforms have the ability to help promote your product, which is, again, if you create a website on your own, you're going to have to find the money, the resources, the SEO. You have to learn about SEO and do all of that yourself, or you're going to have to pay somebody, which is even more expensive, to have someone start it. So get started on a website. I'm telling you, just if you want to sell something, if you're hand making stuff, specifically on Etsy, if you're making something from scratch, do it on that kind of a platform, get experience, and then transition. Keep your store open on Etsy because it's still there and you've got a great history. And then, create a website of your own where you can begin to do your e-commerce. Number 1 out of the top 5 reasons why I recommend selling on an established platform is you have a built-in customer base. Okay, I can't stress this enough. When you start out and you have a brand new website, you don't have a customer base. Nobody knows who you are unless you have a couple of relatives who know that you have a website. And in the amount of time it takes for a search engine, sorry, I'm just moving you over here there. The amount of time that it takes for a search engine to catalog your website with your SEO, if it's not done effectively, nobody in the world is going to know you're there. If you're selling gold trinkets, there are about 1 million people right now that are selling gold trinkets. If you're selling some type of vintage clothing, again, that's a great place to go, is to create something on an Etsy, establish yourself first, and then create a website from there. Because there are 1 million people who are selling vintage clothes. How do you expect to be found? I'm going to tell you right now, you're not going to be found. I'm only telling you this from experience. If you want to promote your product, you want to start selling it, get on an established platform first. If you're a beginner at this, Etsy's the place to be. Amazon, eBay, Bonanza. And there's actually, if you Google it now, there's quite a few other marketplaces that you can get on. I'd recommend that. And then once you see about 6 months to a year, then create your website, put the time and effort in and money into it, and then you can begin to use social media to bring all of these selling platforms together. And I've got a video I'll do on that more specific. I have some up right now. But we use every platform every social media that you can imagine to promote everything that we do. And I take about 1 to 2 hours every single day to post products up on social media, interact with social media. I don't use social media for personal reasons. I just don't believe in putting pictures up my personal life. I don't really use that for that. I use it really just for business use purposes. But when you do that and you can tie in multiple selling platforms and you're all over the place, your sales will they'll be through the roof. That's the roof right there. Your sales will go through the roof. So those are my top 5, really quick and simple, 13, 14-minute video. If you can, subscribe to our channel. Let us know if you like anything. If you've got any questions, please feel free to comment. I'll be happy to try to help you out. But do that. Try to start out on a platform that's existing and just go at it. Just have at it. Thanks, guys.